What would you say is the most important thing in the world? Is it money? Is it love? Maybe family and friends? Actually, the most important thing is time. Without it, you wouldn't have time to make money, or spend time with your loved ones, or even have the time to find your true love. So think of time as a commodity, a currency. Every day we are given 24 hours to do whatever we want. But what if your time is about to run out?
Pier 7 is on 844.
988 Kings Mill Road.
Regional Paramedical Services makes hundreds of calls a day, racing against time to get injured and sick people the medical attention they need. And they've been doing it for 30 years. RPS is CAS accredited, which means they've met the gold standard in quality patient care in America's medical transportation system, often exceeding state and local standards. Out of the over 19,000 medical transport agencies in the country, RPS is one of only 178 with CAS accreditation. Regional Paramedical Services has come a long way to becoming a premier emergency advanced life support ambulance company. But in the beginning, there were some who thought RPS wouldn't survive. In the early 1980s, John Wills was a paramedic for a privately owned ambulance company which served Walker County and other surrounding counties. Wills was a hard-working, dedicated paramedic, but he was becoming increasingly frustrated with his employer's business practices.
One day, the equipment malfunctioned and the ambulance broke down, and I had a patient that was going to die. Had I not done something else, the patient was going to die, so I actually had to push the patient down the highway, the last mile, to the hospital to get their care. And I said, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. I can do better than this. And I set out to actually do that.
Wills convinced a couple of his co-workers, Marty White and Kerry Brown, to join him. But getting the banks to lend them the startup money was more difficult than they thought. So Wills asked his mother, who was a local business owner in Jasper, if he could borrow $25,000. She agreed. The first thing they bought was a used ambulance with 50,000 miles. Then they purchased a rundown trailer and some communication equipment. With the little money they had left, Wills bought another used ambulance which needed constant maintenance. He also recruited 4 more paramedics, including a young intermediate EMT, David Wade. July 7, 1987, RPS is off and running. With 1 reliable ambulance, 7 employees, John Wills knew what it would take for the business to succeed.
And so I calculated it out. I had to have 7 ambulance calls a day, every day. First day I had 9. So I said, we can do it. And it never got below 9. It only increased every day.
RPS continued to grow, and within 5 years, they had purchased all the other ambulance services in Walker County, including the company the original 7 worked for. RPS is now the exclusive provider of EMS transport for Walker County. As the company grew, so did the staff, and new partnerships formed. In 1990, Philip Wyndham, who joined RPS during the first year of operation, was named vice president, and one of the 7 original employees, David Wade, became chief operations officer. In 1994, RPS expanded its coverage into Jefferson County with an office in Hoover. Over the next few years, RPS moved into other areas, acquiring more and more smaller ambulance companies. Today, RPS covers 9 counties in north-central Alabama. With a staff of over 600 people and a fleet of 110 trucks, they are the largest ambulance company in the state. With that many ambulance and support vehicles, RPS has had to build its own mechanical facility. Properly trained mechanics using the most advanced equipment keep all the trucks and support vehicles running properly and up to manufacturer's specifications. RPS trucks are outfitted with the latest digital medical equipment, requiring a team of highly trained IT technicians to keep everything calibrated and working properly. Central Command recently expanded its communications center, installing the best radio and computer equipment.
You got 2 new trucks, right?
Constant assessment and training with the latest technology, techniques, and practices are the keys to RPS's success. But as Wills puts it, the employees and their relationship with the people they serve are just as important.
We live here, we work here. I mean, the person you're taking care of might be your grandmother, your mother. And so our desire is there. We live this, and our hearts are in it. We're part of the community.
Part of the community indeed. RPS staff members teach emergency medical training at local colleges, and some members work as police and firefighters in some of the surrounding towns. Giving back to the community is a fundamental belief at RPS. A recent mock disaster drill was held at Bevel State Community College, giving local EMA and first responders an opportunity to train for a real disaster. Members of the RPS staff got hands-on training in an EMS situation, and they helped school EMS and nursing students on proper techniques and methods while working in the field with mass casualties. RPS has become one of the most trusted and reliable medical transportation companies in Alabama. When Trinity Medical Center entered the final planning stages to move up to 180 patients to their new facility, Grandview Medical Center, they reached out to several medical transport companies, including RPS. After 14 months of meetings with EMA, Birmingham Regional EMS, law enforcement, and medical transport companies, a relocation plan was developed. But as move day got closer, it became obvious RPS was going to become a major player in the move.
At that time, we were looking, as a company for RPS, we were looking at probably putting 10 to 15 ambulances in the move, and thinking that the other agencies would do the same. But as we got closer to the move, some of the other agencies having to drop out because they didn't have enough resources, we stepped up to the plate and put 30 plus ambulances in the move.
They had used another service to do their neonate transports, and they were going to do it on move day, and we were contacted Tuesday before the move day that they had backed out, and that put us moving the neonates.
There was some questions coming in that morning who would actually be in control as the commander where we were at with staging. We had EMA in there as well as our guys and other transport services, but we always have a system. We've moved 2 hospitals in the past. We've evacuated 2 hospitals from bomb threats within the last 5 years. So we kind of have an action plan of our own, what we do. And once I think EMA seen what we were doing, they just let us have the show really to run. So
the coordinated effort between RPS and all other agencies successfully moved 98 patients to the new Grandview Medical Center without any complications. So why does someone choose to do a job with long hours and stressful, dangerous situations? Well, simply put, they do it because they have a strong desire to help their fellow man. And every day, a paramedic's character is put to the test.
Within 3 weeks, 1 year, 1 month, I had multiple vehicle accidents with babies and parents and death, and that was a very tough time in my career. I walked into my manager's office at the time and just said, I can't do this again. And them say, yes, you can, and you're going to, because that's what we do, and that's what makes us who we are and the paramedics that we become, and it makes us better, and it makes us be able to help the next person or the next family better and easier.